Next, we're going to look at the reloading dies. The reloading dies, obviously combined with the press, or the workhorse that conduct many of the steps that lead to the finished ammunition. Die sets are available in two primary materials, carbide and steel. Carbide is the die of choice anymore. They're much harder and much less susceptible to wear and damage. Also, you will read regularly with straight-walled pistol ammunition with the carbide dies, you don't even need to lube the cases. I don't agree with that 100%. I put a tiny bit of lube on, but we'll go over that in the lubing steps and the actual case resizing steps in those videos. But suffice it to say, the carbide is the preferable material at this point. Dies in pistol are generally available in 3 or 4 die sets. You need a minimum of 3. This is a die set for 9mm. This was an original 3 die set, which includes the die that does the resizing and decapping. There's a die that does the expansion of the case mouth, and then there's a bullet seating die. I have added as a separate die the crimp die for the 9mm, which I can either keep in its own case or put in that case, or load all 4 in the turret, as in my turret press, or I could have bought this originally as a 4 die set. In rifle ammunition, rifles are generally loaded in 2 or 3 die sets, but you frequently get more dies with the set, and I'll explain why. Just like with the pistol dies, you're going to have a die that does the decapping and sizing of the case, but you're also going to have one that's a neck size only die. It's a different kind of sizing die. It sizes just the neck of the case, which is appropriate especially if you're looking for real accuracy and you're using the cases in the same gun over and over again, where there's not going to be a question of the fit of the entire cartridge into the chamber of the rifle. Neck resizing is a slightly more advanced stage that we won't do much with in the course of these videos, but other than the expanding and decapping die and the bullet seating die, you can also then, if you do or do not have the neck resizing die, you can also obtain a crimp die for each particular caliber, and I happen to have that one out of the box and in this set, so it becomes a 4 die set. Each of the die sets is also going to be accompanied by instructions and explanations. In this particular instance that I'm showing you, there's pictures of the dies and the names of them, so you know what order they're set up in. There's instructions on the installation and adjustment of each die so that it's appropriate for that case. In this instance, it also tells you about some of the add-on features, such as the through the die powder charging, and goes into the information about the turret presses, the quick change dies, and it also gives you load information, although we're going to not suggest in your early stages that you use this information. We're going to go over that in much more detail in the video about reloading manuals. Again, with all of our videos, we have a cheat sheet that you can download. It will give you a lot of information about the materials, about the 3 and 4 die sets, the 2, 3, or 4 die sets for rifle, and it tells you what's included in each. For getting started, you're going to need a press, and you're going to need a set of dies for your first cartridge. For reloading, I would suggest the 4 die set for pistol if that's your first choice, or the 3 die set with the full-length resizing die, the bullet seating die, and the crimp die if your first cartridge is going to be rifle.